Am I live? Am I live? Oh, I'm live. Okay. One other quick little thing to Vic and anybody else. They're like, I don't see what you're talking about. The title says this was about sympathy for anti-SJWs. I guess you didn't think I blew enough smoke up your ass. Well, I'm not saying that I agree with you on things. I'm saying a very specific issue, and I think it should have been obvious. Yes, you should already understand this. What I'm saying is, I know activists that want to declare war on you guys. For example, in my 20s or teens, even when I was going to college in Berkeley, and it was anti-apartheid riots and stuff. You know, there were many times that I fought with the fellow activists because of their groupthink and the warlike nature of what they were doing. So, for example, FBI was doing on-campus interviews, and they blocked both entrances to the building where those interviews were going on. And I argued with them and actually tried to let the people in, because it was like, look, you could stand here, have your sign, say something to the person, even it shouldn't be too rude or abusive or anything. But even if it is, okay, we could, you know, you're in the borderline. But if you're going to lock arms and block other people physically from going in, you don't know. That person might be the person that's going to reform the FBI, or doesn't want to work for the FBI but thought the interview would be interesting, or has always wanted to work for the FBI and it's going to reform it, or just be, you know, you can't physically block another person. Okay, so these guys declared war on the likes of you, and you're going, well, I'm not such a bad guy just because I think feminists are whiny. And I'm with you on that. I think it's bullshit. Your idiot attitude but it's totally within the realm of okay. It doesn't make you a Nazi. That, you know, it's ever since the beginning of feminism, people have thought, oh, that's just lesbians and shrews, you know, just lesbians and shrews. Just they're so whiny. They've thought that the whole time. You still think it, and I think we're making progress. You and me are partners in the future, and maybe there's a middle ground. Maybe I don't think feminists are whiny enough, or does that make sense? So I think hopefully that has made it obvious. I'm saying I understand you've been declared war on, and that's bullshit. It's just like if we're going to declare war now, if people in Paris are going to be all angry at Muslims, then there's some shish kebab maker in the street of Paris is just trying to sell some kebabs, and it's going to be open season. All the third-party trolls can take out their fucking childhood issues on this person, or he's going to lose business, and so on and so forth. And I'm an individualist. To me, the fact that that individual deserves zero impact means that I'm going to behave in a way where he gets zero impact. And the people that really have to be dealt with, they are dealt with. And kebab guy gets to keep making me delicious kebabs. Okay, so I'm not declaring war because the ramifications of war are heinous. And it doesn't mean I wouldn't go to war ever. It's just that I know it creates a chaotic situation with an aftermath that's also a big problem. So the problem I'm trying to address has to be bigger than that problem, and it really only ever happens, just like in personal life. You know, when would you kill somebody? Yeah, if somebody's in your house about to kill you, fine. But you have a bug in their house and you've listened to them talk at the dinner table and they've said, I'd like to kill Piro. And so you're going to go kill everybody you ever hear say that? No, that kind of preemptive stuff, counterproductive. When if you bugged him and heard that, then you might say we need to keep our eye on him or whatever. But war is so costly that it's better to take a lot of energy to deal with it other ways. Okay, so they have called this a war against you guys because you won't take sides. But I'm a nonconformist. I'm an individualist. I don't even take sides. When I categorize myself as a certain kind of activist, it's because I look at it as a material criteria. You know, would you work? Do you support if a person had an issue that was counter-feminist, would I work on their campaign and so on? No, I wouldn't. So I could be categorized as a feminist. I'm a peace activist, labor rights activist, various things that you could categorize me in, but I don't actually take sides. I don't feel I'm in some sort of a club with everybody else that gets categorized that way or would categorize themselves. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the people, when they're warlike, I don't really accept their categorization. If somebody, for example, is, believes in some social justice area, be it feminism or labor rights or anything, and then they want to do something that to me is immoral, like attack somebody's job, part of that is because to me that's counter to justice in the labor situation. Your boss should not get to decide. I don't care whether free speech doesn't count. To me, that's fucked up that a boss can decide what you can and can't say on your free time. That's bullshit. Anybody that would pull that shit is not a very good activist in my book, because they are not at all trying to look at the big picture. Right now, they could still be a good person that fucked up, and they could go, "Oh yeah, I did forget the big. I was so mad at that guy. I forgot the big picture," and that's fine, because people aren't demons. We don't need to demonize people. But in terms of what was the sympathy, people aren't demons. We don't need to demonize people. But in terms of what was the sympathy, it's simple. Some party has declared war against you, and you're just going like, what? I was just ignoring the situation. Why is there a war on me? And they're like, because you shouldn't ignore it. And you're like, okay, I'll pay attention to it. Good. So will you make sure you're on our side and declare it? And like, no, I'm not sure. You seem a little bit fucking crazy. I don't want to deal with you. Okay, so that's your beef against those people. But you can't really have a beef against the idea of social justice, or, let's be specific, peace activism. Let's do this because this happens with peace activism. People act like